And hello to all my Aries friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for September 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Aries, a storyline spread. And a storyline spread is a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Aries. We're going to be telling different stories for different Aries, 2, 3, 4, or sometimes 5. Different stories for different Aries, going through different situations. It's like a bunch of mini readings all in one, which allows me to be very accurate for you. Now, at the end of the day, there may be multiple stories here that do resonate with you, but the idea here is to find the story that is all about you, your story, and we're going to do that here today. Spirit has asked that I conclude your reading with an extra spread that is an angel protection card. It's more a card than a spread, but it gives us a little extra emphasis towards maybe one of the stories, or maybe it's a bubble of the whole thing. Gonna do some Rune Stones too, that'll bring the reading together. Got a whole lot of new stuff to do here. We're talking about the Rune Stone, we're talking about chemistry tracking toward the end of your video here. We're doing your extra spread, and also one that's called homily, which is a little speech, a little spiritual pep talk, if you will, that I'm going to do at the end of your reading. So lots of new stuff to get into, guys. We got to get started right now. So let's get started. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. Now I'm going to bring you in the overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on for all my great Aries. And that's a picture, so that's not going to work. We need to switch into video. And now we are recording, hopefully. These Aries are my ritual cuts. Basically cut each deck into thirds. There it goes. And then we put it back together in a separate order. And that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It's the same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. And you are. So here we go. The storyline spread. It starts with 5 cards, and then I expand out from there where I need to go. But these are your core 5 cards. And we are going to keep going because I did not get my stop order from Spirit. You see how we're doing so far? So far, so nice and good. Scoot them over a little bit because we're going to keep going. Storyline is done in one big long line, and we're still going. And we're still going. Am I off the screen yet? Just about. I'm going to come down here just for the sake of the camera. Still going, and here's my last card regardless because that is number 10. Storyline stops at 10 cards, so there we go. They went the full boat here with my Aries. They're holding nothing back here. So we got to pretend that this is in one big long line, and since we do have so many inverted cards here, so many blockages here, I do need to do a discard right now, I do believe. Let me just count to make sure I'm right about that. 6 out of the 10. It's actually not, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to do the discards later. And by the way, guys, if this is the part that you don't want to be paying attention to, hey, just get me to my reading. Much more specific timestamps are in there, broken up by chapters. Look at the bottom of your YouTube bar there if you want to skip ahead to this. But a lot of people do like to look at the pictures, like to see what I'm working with and how I put this together. So here we go with pairings. This is always a complicated deal. We've got these two pulling away. This is going to be one story. Down here, since this is one long line, we got these guys all kind of working this way. That's going to be one long story as it turns out. So we're looking at 3 stories, and just one of them, Aries, happens to be massively huge. So now I believe still on screen, looking good. Now this is the part where my table gets cluttered and stuff will go off the screen. So I will move the camera around so you guys can see everything nice and good once I get all the stories together. But you saw the most important parts. But this, got to see if that's a person. They said yes. I got another queen. Now over here, Major Arcana card, we're going to pull 2 on top of it to describe. And we got to pull an Oracle Angel card too. That's going to every single story, so that story is complete over there. The blockages, not enough to matter. Good. Now this story here, I'm pulling it in camera just so you can see it a little better, hopefully. We are completely blocked. 3 out of 3. So that needs a discard right now to see if we're going to invert the whole thing. Revert, I guess I should say. And Spirit says yes. So they want this thing read clear. That order has to stay the same. That is extremely important to do in tarot. They're all pip cards, minor energy cards. So I'm just going to pull one card to describe the story here. And then, of course, our Oracle Angel, which goes with every single story. Got that one there. And then we work on our final story, story number 3 at the bottom, which is your big long one. And we have 3 out of 5 blocked. Right now, it's not going to matter. I got my Major Arcana card right here. He gets 2 cards to describe what is going on here. And I also need to check this queen, see if that's a person. They say no, but I'm going to leave it in the spread because we're using the energy definition, and that's describing what the energy is doing. And then I just need to check on this page here, which is another person. Make sure that's not a person. It actually is a person. So that's going to stay just like that. Now I'm going to move the order around here. Actually, check the inverts one more time, because now that we've added more cards, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough to matter. So that's, once we get the Oracle Angel card, which is right here, this story is done. All right, Aries, I'm going to attempt to make some room for myself first. Not a lot of place to take this. I'm going to scoot this like this. And kind of just slide over. Sometimes that's just the best that we can do. All right, Aries, let's do it. It's time to go. Story 1, Aries. First thing I want to talk about here is a woman that comes in. This is usually not you, Aries. This is a connector card, so it kind of goes both ways. In a general reading, very hard to pinpoint this, so that's what I love personal private readings for, because there's no error involved here. But let me give it to you both ways. If they're talking about you are an Aries that is very concerned about money right now, money or health. Pentacles do mean health as well, but for most people, it's usually money type of deals. And since I'm looking ahead and we have pentacles all over this spread, it is just kind of consumed with it. I'm assuming this is more of a financial story for Aries, but if you got something health that would apply to what I'm about to describe here, this could very well be your story too. Now, if they're not talking about you, this is another woman that is involved in your life, somebody that's very close to you, maybe a mother, a daughter, an aunt to you, maybe somebody that's a good friend of yours that's a woman. Maybe she's going through this and not you directly. Maybe there's something in here you can kind of help her get on the right path with here, whether it be financial or health. Now, the next thing we show here, now that a connection card is done, is this is a new journey. We have the Fool card. It sounds bad, but the Fool card is usually a very generally positive card. It indicates a new journey, so it does kind of bring with the energy of it to play this a little safe here. No risks. It is a time to be conservative here with finances or health if you are this person in story 1. And keep in mind, we got 2 more stories to come here, guys. So here's kind of what's going on. They show that this is easy money, easy work going on here. So this is a good flow as far as how hard it is to attain this. So if this is somebody who's doing something brand new with health, they can make great strides here. Really quick success, quick gains, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with money, same definition basically happens there. It's just saying, things are rolling really good right now. You don't even got to work hard for it. It's just rolling all in, right? Now, they do say it's time for a nap. So that usually implies here that somebody has been working a little hard here. Maybe long hours. Maybe that's why the money is rolling in so good. You've been working long hours, and hey, you got to make sure in September that you get a little bit of R&R, rest and relaxation. It is just as important to decharge those batteries as it is to go and get moving and use all that energy. You got to recharge it too. Now, there is one more thing here. So let me give it to you the health way first. If this is about health for you or this woman that they brought in here, what they're showing me is that my hoarder card on an invert. So normally the hoarder card would be like, hey, it's time to stop being a hoarder, time to open this up. Inverted, it means quite the opposite of that. It's actually saying, hey, you actually need to be a hoarder right now. It is not time to be spending, even though you got all this wealth, this accumulation. Well, we are giving you the health definition first. So basically it's saying, like, keep it inward. Don't be putting it outward. So I wouldn't be going to like a gym, a personal trainer. I'd be doing more things at home. Home changes for you here in story 1. If it is about health and if it is financial, they're saying, hey, even though you got it, does not mean that you should spend it, at least not right here in September. So time for a nap, guys. Make sure you guys are getting enough rest and relaxation. There we go with story number 1. Story number 2, Aries, we're going to move up here. My connection card is a card about Aries who are very much driving a little bit blind here. You guys aren't really sure what to do with something, someone, a certain place, situation, occurrence, driving a little blind. They show you blindfolded holding these 2 swords, which represents 2 paths, 2 situations, 2 choices, something like that. Now, they do show that you're in a good position with this, so hopefully none of my Aries are like losing sleep over this. Of course, they did say time for a nap for my story 1 Aries, and there can be some carryover here, but story number 2 here is more, they're showing you on a good keel here. So even though you have a major decision or major something in here that you're trying to work out to kind of figure out in the month of September, you are in a good headspace about it. Much better to see than if this card was inverted. They'd be saying you kind of are on the dark side of this mental capacity, because when we have swords, it is a mental suit, very mental and cerebral, and we have another one right behind it, so just reinforces the fact that mentally in story 2, a lot of you are very tied down to something here. It could be somebody, it could be someone, but they show you are extremely just stuck here, and maybe the stuckness is up here. Maybe it is not anything in the real world. Maybe it's just your stress. Maybe it's just your fear of something. Something like that. Okay, so that can be illusionary. So that's Spirit's way of letting me know, to let you know that you don't necessarily need to let this control you. What if it's not real? What if you're worried about something in the future that may never occur? Maybe it will, and you got to be prepared for it, but not to the point where you are, stressing yourself out over it. So thankfully you're not. Now what they do show is that the goal here, Aries, is to get something wrapped up, get something completed, attain some kind of goal, get some kind of clarity, get some kind of closure, get something wrapped up. We want to finish a project here, essentially, with my world card. It basically means complete. Okay, so that's the energy of what is going on in September in story 2. Now they do show that you take great pride in something here, whether this is yourself, your body, your health, your finances. It is a pentacle, so I got to start there, but this is also my artist card. It's like he has just put together a wonderful, in this deck it is a structure, like more of a kind of a statuesque type thing. It's kind of more of a column, just a very beautiful piece of art. Okay, and he's very proud of it. So it's you taking pride in something in September, guys. Basically, it's saying, like, if this is not the time to neglect any of that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to health, especially financial. A lot of financial and health themes so far for my Aries between both of these stories. They're letting you know in story 2 that you're blessed. That is my Oracle Angel card. It's letting you know here that, just you got a good deck of cards to work with. Okay, the situation and circumstances that you're going through and dealing with in September are good. Whether they feel like they are or not, it's just them saying, hey, you need to realize this. You need to realize how blessed you are. It could be so much worse if you're struggling. And if you are in a good cruise control place, be thankful for that. Things don't stay good forever. Things do not stay bad forever either. So very important. So anytime we have that structural, that kind of the artist card here too, it also can be about hobbies and interests. Something I want to at least bring up for some of my audience. You may want to consider that, especially if this is your story, Aries, here very, very prominently in September. It would be a really good time for you guys to get back into your hobbies and interests. Maybe something that you neglected, to put more energy into it. Now, before I get into story 3, which is your big long story, the cards are all sticking to me because I live in Florida here. I'm going to break away for your moon cycles. Moon cycles, I'm going to a very, very specific, very deep dive here into the new moon to tell you about that. And we're going to be right back with your story 3. Okay, guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and the moons for September are starting to calm down. September, October, through the rest of 2023, the moon cycles are a little bit more solemn. However, you can still use this energy, the full and the new moon, to implement positive change into your life, because after all, the moon does have a gravitational lock on this planet of ours, and it's strong enough to pull the water of Earth towards space. The water bulges, and that's what the tides do, moving in and out. And after all, aren't we mostly water as well? You think it has an effect on us? Absolutely it does. So here's what's going on. Linear speaking, the first thing that hits as we enter September, we're still dealing with full moon energy from August. Now, this is the best time to get stuff out of your life. I want to focus more on the full moon later in the month, but as we enter the month early, that's when most people are checking out these videos. So I'm letting you know that right now, it's a good time to break habits, a good time to get stuff out of your life. People wrap up projects, anything that's got to go. That is the energy of the full moon here early in September. Now, I want to focus on the new moon, because new moon September 14th, this is going to be significant just because I got something special to share about the new moon. I stumbled upon this a few months ago, and I was waiting for the right time to do it. And this is the moon cycle where I'm going to share it. This is from a very gnostic text. I forget which one it was. It might have been the book of Adam and Eve, one of these books that was held back from the Bible, from the Pope. And very interesting things, because all these events happen during the new moon. This goes back to the flood story, which is not just in biblical texts, but it's in a bunch of different religious texts. New moon, that was when Noah was commanded to make the ark. Happened on a new moon. And he entered in the ark, also on a new moon. New moon is when the water stopped. Of course, these are not sequential new moons. It's not just one after another, but these events happened under a new moon. Here's another one. The tops of the mountains were first seen under a new moon. The earth, like the bottom, the lower levels of the earth, became visible from the floods going down under a new moon. And finally, Noah went forth from the ark under, you guessed it, a new moon. So you think new moon's relevant? Or what else are they trying to tell us in that book? I would say it's quite important. So the new moon, best time to bring things into your life. Start something new. Start a new diet. Go for a new job. Try to get something new going in the work corner. Something new in the love corner. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're trying to implement into your life, the new moon brings in the manifest. So it's the best time to pray. If you're a prayer, or if you like to just manifest things with just meditation or whatever it is that you do, this is the best time, middle of the month, guys. And we get back into that full moon energy, like I told you, late in September. This is the key for getting things out. I know we talked about it being early in the month, but it happens stronger for September late. In fact, it's the 29th. So the very last few days of September are incredibly strong for getting things out of your life. Something you got to sell, repurpose, finish up an old project, kick somebody out of your life, kick a bad habit. Doesn't matter what it is. That is full moon energy, guys. Use that to your benefit. And I also have a moon cycle cheat sheet that I always put on my website for you. It's there for free every single month. It's on my Talking About page, stuff that I'm talking about. You can scroll down and see that moon cycle guide. It's a little visual aid just to help you understand how these energies move in and out. While you're there, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter as well. Give my newsletter people a couple great things every single year, usually in the terms of free readings, and also great promo codes. It's just one email that I send out every single month, so that is a no-brainer. Follow the Facebook page as well. That's for contests and giveaways, all kinds of great stuff on the channel. And before I let you go, I want to tell you about the brand new service on the website. It is called Pet Connect. By popular demand, people wanting to check in on their pets, see how they're doing. A little bit of profound stuff can be had in this way. I made this product very, very affordable. I want to make it super friendly so that anybody can check this out. I know I get asked all the time about pets. Are they in heaven? Can we check in on them? All this kind of stuff. Is it even possible? The short answer is yes. It is a complicated situation, but it can be done, and to the point where I've made a product to just deliver that service to my great clients. And that is available, scottsagent.com, launching on Labor Day, guys. Labor Day is the day for that. And when you see that launch on there will be a video that goes with it that talks all about it, shows you the ins and outs and how it works. So check that out as well. The gemstones in the shop are still buy one, get one with the free charm. Any gemstone purchase in the shop will come with a free charm as well as a free little bag. It's kind of like a buy one, get 3 items for free, and that is running through the end of the year, so that's worth checking out as well, guys. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Aries, I am back with your story 3, and here we go. The first connection card they want to talk about is very much long distance energy coming in here. They're saying actually to get away from the localized approach here a little bit. So a lot of you are looking at what's right in front of your face here as we enter September, and Spirit saying, hey, you know what? There is an entire forest here. Don't get stuck looking at this tree, okay? There's much more to see here. Bigger picture, zoomed out, bird's eye view. That is very much the vibe here. And if that feels like you've been worried about maybe just what's at hand, the task at hand, surface level things, getting to work on time, making sure the kids are fed, bring them to school, the ho-hum, routine, normal type of stuff. This could be about you too, and also more long distance stuff. Maybe some of you are doing long distance travel in the month of September. Maybe it's something to consider for the rest of you. Now, the next thing we show here, we have some moving parts. We have some growth that is not kind of kicking full stream right now. Something is taking longer than you want it to, Aries. And you know what? You just got to be a little patient while this grows. Usually it is something financial, which is a reoccurring theme for your reading. Same thing for health, though, too. It can come in as a health thing that you just got to be a little patient with this process. It's not going to happen quick. Probably not fully wrapped up in September either, whatever that is specifically to you. In a general reading, I don't have any way to pinpoint exactly what that is for you, especially with so many of my great Aries tuning in. So that's why it's important to get a personal private reading, and I have a host of different services that are available on my website, scottsagent.com. I got something for everybody on there, from small all the way up to full service, guys. So make sure you want to check that out. We next have the Hierophant card. This is a card about taking care of your people, Aries. Great month to do it. Share that love, that family camaraderie, friendship. It's just good energy all around. Now, what they do show is that there is a shakeup going on here. It is my Tower card. It's a card of quick change. Could be like a breakup energy, makeup, shakeup, something happening quick that maybe you didn't expect to happen, but it happens very quickly, and it happens in September. They're letting you know kind of a little bit of a peek ahead on that one. And they do let you know next that there is something going on here with a younger person. I have my page of wands that comes up here. This is representative as a person, though. I asked, hey, are we doing energetic definition here? They said, no, we're using a person. So this is usually a generation gap younger than you or older. But either way, it's a generation gap. Maybe you're the older one and they're talking about like your child or something like that. Or maybe you are the child and they're talking about your parent here. So this is a card about doing things the right way. No cutting corners. Very much no toxicity. There can be no toxicity here, Aries. Not at all. We cannot be having any bit of that. So that is what that person is coming in with. They're just kind of giving you some kind of details about what could be going on there. Now there is next the card about theft or loss or also deceit. So that is something to at least keep your eyes open for. You're never going to see the stuff while your eyes are closed. You know what I mean? Like you got to be on the lookout for something here. If this is your story, if you're in story 1 or 2, I would say here not so much. But when this card comes up, it's usually more of a preventative than anything else, Aries. It just means that Spirit is picking up something for some of my Aries. Maybe it's just one of you that just stands out as a little bit of a, hey, we can try to get them to avoid this here. One of the things that tarot is great for is planning and preparation. And here they're saying that there's some theft or loss coming up. So this is a reminder to lock your car, lock your home. Don't be leaving stuff, valuables out in the open. That's what they tell you when you go to theme parks and stuff. Don't leave anything in plain sight. Also, this can be about forgetting something or losing something. If you're forgetful or clumsy, or let's say you just misplace your purse. You left it on the bench at the restaurant, and you remember an hour later, you go back, it's not there. Well, did somebody steal it? Technically, yeah, but you also kind of lost it, so there is that losing energy. So just kind of try to be eyes open to that kind of energy in here in story 3. The next thing we show here is my Queen of Cups. This is on an invert. So this is saying we really need to nurture the family here, Aries. The family needs the energy in the month of September. So what is that? That is the family corner. That is your loved ones, anybody close to your heart. It could even be pets. I just launched my Pet Connect product that you saw there during the moon cycles there. So this is your family, putting energy into the family, maybe doing something together, spending more time together than usual, going to do something fun, because they're showing it as a block. So it's a block that needs to be broken free is basically what is amounting here. We also have the 6 of rods here, 6 of wands. In this deck, this is an invert, which basically means that there is a little bit of a setback here, a little bit of bad luck, bad moment. It is just a bad, small little span. It is not a big deal at all. It doesn't mean it doesn't feel like it is to you, but this is Spirit's way of letting you know, hey, you know what? This is not going to be a perfect situation here in story 3, but it's okay, because this little setback that's going to pop up. Of course, you're reading this right here, or at least most of my audience checks these readings out early in September, and you're probably like, oh, I have no idea what that's going to be. And you probably won't until it happens. But when it happens, you can come back and remember, oh yeah, he did say something about that in story 3. So we're telling you here, Spirit's basically saying you need to get back up when this happens. You do not let this carry any negative energy at all. Let it be. It's just like if you hit a speed bump. I've been driving at night and I hit a speed hump or a speed bump, something I did not see. It wasn't well enough lit. Now I hit it going way too quickly, right? Well, it scares you maybe for a second. You shake it off and you get driving again. You don't just pull over and you play victim. Oh, woe is me. Why do bad things always happen to me? Don't do any of that. Get right back up from this situation. It is just small. Now, Spirit is also saying truth be told. So the fact that there is deception, kind of energy, theft, loss that we talked about earlier, in here there's also a ton of truth, ton of window open, opportunities to get the truth, opportunities to basically like see things very, very clearly. So that is important, probably more as the month concludes, where that is going to really arc up, really amp up, and get very, very high tuned energy there. So very good. Now we're going to get into this concludes the storyline spread, but now we're getting into all of the extra sections of your reading, and you're going to notice that part of the newness that I did here is I'm breaking everything up into chapters. So what we're getting into right now is the Rune Stone first. Rune Stones are mixed up. I'm going to give them one more swirl. I like to do the Rune Stone while I'm looking at the reading, at the cards. And the Rune Stone that you got right here is, let me show you. This is the rune of Journey. Journey. We had Journey in story 1. So Journey is a big deal, not just for story 1. This is Spirit's way of saying, hey, you know what, story 1, we did talk about Journey, being conservative, doing something brand new here. But this goes much deeper than story 1. This goes through story 2 and 3 as well. What is your brand new journey? That is something that I would be asking myself if I was reading this or checking out this reading from an external point of view, or basically if I was you. What is your new journey? What do you want your next journey to be? This is a great month to be thinking about this. And also, like I said, hey, just play it a little safe. This is not the month, Aries, for risks. And this is Spirit's way of letting all of my Aries know that. Not just story 1, but everybody. So there we go. Good Rune Stone there. And Rune Stone is available as a personal private reading as well. Very extremely affordable. And we move on to the next new part here. This is chemistry tracking, guys. Chemistry tracking. And this is something that I do ahead of time. And I do that just to save us all a bunch of time, basically. All the card work is already done. So all I'm doing is basically just talking about your chemistry connections here for my great Aries in the month of September. Now, they did give you both. There have been signs that I did hear that did not get certain ones. I always like to give Spirit a way out. For example, if Aries, if they didn't want you overthinking about your strong connections and, this month at least, maybe they're just not going to give you one. That's not the case for you guys, but it is possible. I like to always give Spirit an out in that way. Now I'm going to start with your weak connection, guys. This is just a connection that is not going to go very well in the month of September. And of course, it's not for everybody because this is a general reading, but Spirit did pick up that a lot of Aries are going to have some fluff, either problems or energy not flowing smooth with Leo. Leo is the bipolar, or not bipolar, but the polar opposite here of Aries, at least in September. So this could be a multiple of different things here. If you're single, this could be a way to say, hey, avoid the Leos in September. They're no good for you. This could be a way of saying, hey, maybe your boss is a Leo and he's going to be a real dick this month. Just be ready for it. Or maybe it's somebody closer to you that you're just not going to be, it's not going to be rainbows and bubblegum. No big deal, but it is a weak energy flow. They're just letting you know that, to be aware of that. Now, what do you guys have strong, Aries? Strong connection to Virgo. Strong connection to Virgo, Aries. This is going to be, so again, it's kind of the same context. It's like, what do you got going on that they're talking about the energy for here? That is what you can use this to your benefit for. So if you are, dating, you're out there, maybe you meet a Virgo, that could be something really good. And this is Spirit's way of telling you, hey, good, strong connection with Virgos in the month of September, which is also a Virgo month. So there we go. Virgo strong, Leo weak with my Aries. So there we go. There is your chemistry tracking for the month. Now we get into your extra spread. Your extra spread, I actually just flipped that over too. And this is your Angel Protection card. Angel Protection is available as a personal product as well on the website, scottsagent.com. It's actually kind of like a BOGO reading, buy one, get one reading, because you don't just get the Angel Protection card or cards, but you also get an animal totem spread with it. So it gives you a very deep, interesting level of depth that you cannot get from other readings. It gives you animal totems and it gives you Angel Protection card. So your Angel Protection for the entire month, for September, all they want to talk about for you is imagine. They want you to get a little bit dream state here, Aries. They want you to dream big. They want you to really kind of go in here, think, do some mental exercises. What is it that you are trying to do in your life? What are you trying to build? How are you trying to conclude 2023? More importantly, what are you planning to do with 2024? That is going to be important, significant, and is going to make a mark on your life. I strongly believe every year you should do something that makes you remember that year. 2024, that's the year I'm going to go skydiving. 2024, that's the year when I'm finally going to launch that business, that side gig, that startup. Okay, so whatever it is for you, do something in 2024 that is just going to resonate and make you remember it like, it happened yesterday, even, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. So they want you to start thinking about what this is, guys. They really want you to imagine all the wonderful things that you're trying to attract so that you can attract them. There we go. That is your extra spread. And next we get into homily, which will conclude your extra section. So I'm going to cut away for that right now. Okay, guys, it is time for your homily, September 2023. The very first homily ever is being recorded right now. You are a part of history, guys. So the topic that I want to talk to you about today is a realization that I had at a water park last month, of all places. That's what kind of inspired me to tell you this story and kind of make this part of your extended reading. And I took my daughter on a small mini vacation to South Florida. That's kind of where this whole thing started. Went to a water park. It was very small, but very nice, very pleasurable. It had a little kids section, a couple larger slides for more of the adults. The kids love that too. And a lazy river, which of course everybody likes. And you know what a lazy river is more than likely. And if you don't, it's just a small little stream that current pushes you around, mostly in inner tubes. So this is where my story takes place that I wanted to share with you guys. I was going down the lazy river, and it was a small course. It maybe took you about 10-15 minutes to go around the whole thing. And they had some good water squirts that would happen. You know, sometimes it was like a waterfall where you just got penetrated by water, just that was like free falling. Other times it was pressurized, like more of like a squirt gun and like a spray, and just different kind of textures and varieties that you'd pass through and go under. And it was very nice. And I'd been through it a couple times, and my good friend took my daughter to go on the big slide. She wanted to go on the big slide, so I was in the lazy river by myself, and I'd already been around the course a couple times by this point, so I knew the course pretty well, at least I thought I did. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try something a little different here. I'm sitting on this inner tube, going down a nice little current in a course. I decided to close my eyes and see what changed when I did so. Now, everything changed. First of all, your senses heighten. When you're looking like this, you're blindfolded, you know, your hearing, especially there, hearing was what's heightened the most for me. I was hearing that water coming way ahead of time, and I was apprehensive. I didn't know when it was coming. I just knew that it was. And I didn't know if I was going to be pushed into it or if I was going to be pushed around it, because there's kind of different ways you could go. And it just changes things when you don't see it. When you cannot see what's coming, it changes the way that your body reacts to it. It's just almost like a chemical reaction. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's just the way that it is. And it wasn't scary, but I could see for some people that it could be. And the only reason it wasn't scary is because I knew I was safe. If I was doing that like in an actual river, I would be a little scared, because I'd be wondering if that noise I'm hearing is actually like a waterfall or like a pretty big drop, or, you know, something dangerous was going to happen to me. Of course, it was a controlled environment, so it wasn't scary, but you still had the stress. You still had the apprehension and the nerves very heightened. So the realization that I ended up having, basically the moral of this whole story, is that it reminded me of people who do not seek any kind of spiritual progress with this, with their daily path, their daily lives, tarot readings, a little bit of divination and forecasting, because that's what it does. It allows you to open your eyes to see the things that are coming. Most people are just driving blind. They're going through their entire lives like this. What I do, the ability to forecast and share my divination with you in this way, and with my personal private readings especially, you can look into all that stuff. You can see the things that are coming. You can plan and prepare a little bit for things. So it's not so scary. You don't have to be apprehensive about things. It gives you a calm, just knowing when things are coming and how you can align certain things to these occurrences that are in some ways going to come regardless. Sometimes you go around it. Sometimes you go through it. So that is your homily for September 23. Thank you so much for tuning into the readings. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have delivering it to you. I hope you have a great September. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.